Hey, and welcome. Hey, and welcome, you guys. Thank you for clicking on this video. Before we get started, please do all of the things. Make sure you like the video, subscribe if you haven't already, tell a friend to tell a friend, please, and thank you. Comment down in the comment section sharing your thoughts. And speaking of sharing, share this video where you share your videos because sharing is caring. Also, the Cash App and Venmo are there because 'tis the season. Jingle jangle, put a little something in the tip jar, okay, for your girl and these kids. All right. Happy Vlogmas, you guys. I hope you guys have been checking out my Christmas shorts where I'm giving you some of my go-to movies. Some of them you may have seen before, some of them you may have not. Some of them are, older, some of them are, in the 2000s. So go ahead and check those out and feel free to leave suggestions of some things you might think that I might enjoy watching. And also join me this weekend because I will be doing the 2025 Christmas releases. Okay. But let's get into it. I'm going to move myself to the side from the beautiful Brandy here. As we get into it, we're here to talk about Christmas Every Day that premiered on Lifetime. And baby, I just love me some Brandy, okay? Whether she is singing or in a movie, it don't matter what it is. I'm here for it, okay? She did a Christmas movie 2 years ago on Netflix, but this time she is trying her hands at a Lifetime movie. You know what a Lifetime Christmas movie is going to give, and that's exactly what it gave. But let's get into it. Brandy plays a character named Fancy, aka Francine Ballantyne, who is a designer, and she works for Lila Ross. Baby, Lila is an interesting character. And we're going to learn a little bit more about her as we get into this movie, but not too much, baby, okay? Because we're not here to be for a long time. We're here for a good time, not a long time. Fancy's dad passed away about a year ago, and her mom, who's played by Debbie Morgan, whose name is Evelyn in this movie, she's starting to lose her sight, and you really hate to see it. But Fancy, the ever dutiful daughter, hires someone to make adjustments in her home so she can get around a little more comfortably and she doesn't have to worry, which, baby, definitely going to need it. While her little sister, who is played by Sarai, which is her daughter, as many of you know, springs a Christmas wedding on them. Like they're sitting down to have family dinner and says that I want to get married at Christmas time because the dad loved Christmas time and everybody loved Christmas time. And baby, not next Christmas. She want to do it now. Okay. Right now. Fancy somehow gets stuck making her wedding dress. Cause like I said, Fancy is a designer and she did her other sister's dress, but Belle decides, she's too fly. She don't want to wear the mama's dress. She got her own style, so she wants her sister to do just that for her. And her sister her sisters, let's correct that. Her sisters are campaigning for her to be with the man, low key but hot key, that's working on the mom's house, whose name is Jalen. We know him as Carlton over on Beyond the Gates. Because her boyfriend, who's played by Lamont Rucker, baby, why y'all do Lamont like that? Where was his facial hair? And he is so fine. And y'all gonna make him, we're gonna see what y'all gonna see what we're gonna make him in this movie. Because he is always busy. He's real into his career. He's trying to get a promotion to VP of his company. So he is, dipping and doing it and moving around. Now, at the job, in comes boss Lila. Like I said, Lila's a whole trip. She's been in the game for about 25 years. She just was, hanging out overseas and had met her little young thing. And she decides that she wants to retire. Now, she's still going to be in charge of the company. But like I said, she wants to spend time with that new boo and Fancy and Jermaine with a G, okay? Is ever as colorful and festive as he is, okay? Jermaine with a G are both up for creative director. Now, she wants him to design this collection. It's kind of inspired by, her just being away with the little boy toy. And based upon the collection, she is going to make a decision. Now, Jermaine is trying his damnedest to do anything that he can. He has a social media, if you will, star named Flash come in, and it's just a whole lot. Meanwhile, Jalen, I think they were trying to call him baby. Okay, I'm gonna let it go. He's encouraging Fancy to prioritize herself and create boundaries. And I'm just like, okay, look at you, being a little pocket therapist. We love to see it. And he also encourages, I'm gonna call her Mama E. Okay, that's what happened in my notes, Mama E, because her name is Evelyn, and then Mama E over on the Braxtons. Baby, I ain't watched the Braxtons in years. And not that we're going to try to compare the mamas, because Debbie Morgan is Debbie Morgan, but Mama E. He encourages Mama E to continue doing her sculpting because she does a lot of woodwork, but because of losing her vision, she just really didn't see it. And so she, her husband being gone, she kind of lost passion for life. But he just decides, I'm going to make some adjustments to your workspace and we're going to get this thing done. And he did a wonderful job, but Fancy isn't too happy about it because Mom ends up getting hurt. Now it's a couple of little stitches. He makes some more adjustments. And we work it out. But daughters and mothers, we got to overreact just a little bit. And especially when you feel like people are butting in our family business, we don't quite take too nicely to that. Over at the job, baby, Jermaine offers Belle because Fancy worked in on him with the Flash Girl, so now he's walking in on Fancy doing Belle's dress. And he offers to make her a dress for the press, baby. Okay, she's going to get all this notoriety. She could be in a magazine. And of course, young, hot, and popping, she goes for it. I said, not you. Encourage your sister to do it in her busy schedule of helping this man help the mama with the house and this promotion for work and her work stuff and doing your dress and wedding planning, her and other sister. I would say little sisters, but I'm the little sisters. Don't come for me. Don't come for me. It's only two of us. We're 8 years apart. So I didn't really get the full brat treatment that, I would have liked to have given to people. I digress. So Fancy does end up apologizing to Jalen when she realizes that she missed the mark when it came to her mom, because she was telling the mom, like, maybe you just need to give this up. Okay. You losing your sight. You just can't do everything, but it's her passion. And it's the only thing that she seemed, especially since the dad's gone, seemed to have life, in her eyes and her spirit. So she apologizes to Jalen and says, she's sorry that she didn't realize that. And he takes her on over to the fair, baby. Okay, she's having a good old time. And this is for a boys group that he volunteers for. So Jalen, he's looking like the all-around good guy. He's got the good advice. He's taking her places. He's encouraging the family. And the family is really, really warming up to him. So afterwards, they're in the house and they're spending some time talking. And he's discussing why he got divorced. Because, if we want to say Jalen got a strike, that's going to be his strike. But not really. So he tells her how he was in this high profile job, he was working too much. It was a lot, baby. So he ends up quitting the job and starts his own, I believe it's construction business, because that's why he's over there working on the house now. And long story short, that wife left him. Okay. She wanted to be that dynamic power couple, and him in this, because I think she was an attorney. This was not the life that she had planned for herself. And to me, it was sounding very similar to Fancy's relationship. He is trying to be this power couple, and he's going to say it later again in the movie. He's never around. He's always busy. It's work, work, work. So, we getting the similarities early. Now, Fancy had said earlier at the dinner where Belle announced that she wants to do this wedding pronto, that she didn't go to prom. So, she didn't go to the prom. Her dad was in the military, and her mom was like, a freelance artist. So they just didn't have it. So ever since then, she is determined to do everything she can to provide for these sisters. And you love to see it, but you hate to see it because you love to have somebody care for the family the way the family needs to be cared for. But you hate for it to be an older sibling because you don't want them to have, regrets or angst or anything like that, because, they be feeling like they low key, high key to mama. But it turns out that Fancy has a passion for making dresses and formal wear. She wants to make prom dresses and wedding dresses and stuff like that. And she really wants to get back to it, baby. Jalen gonna pull the stuff out of you if you don't do nothing else. And like I said, every time we see her with that boyfriend, he is in the phone. His name is Richard. Okay, not Richard Lawson, but Richard. Meanwhile, she's been making gingerbread houses with Jalen and just doing all of these things, and just, I don't know how the man is getting his work done and spending time with Fancy, but he's making it happen. And I appreciate that about him, because he's working the nights and weekends, okay, to get everything done. So she goes to dinner with Richard, and, again, like I said, he's ready to make them a power couple. And she finally discloses to him that she's ready to make a shift back, if you will, into something more creative and fulfilling, but he just doesn't see it. Like, we've come this far and we know our parents and we're representatives and, the strong Black thing that we tend to do, but she's just really not, she's not feeling it. She kind of let it go for now, but it's not going to stay there. Mama E is really struggling, okay? She's in her workspace and she gets to crying and cussing the Lord out, baby, because it's a little godliness sprinkled throughout this, okay? And she breaks down, she's like, you took everything from me. Now she done lost her husband. She's starting to lose her eyesight. When her husband pays her a visit, her angel comes down to earth in his earthly form. And he's just telling her how proud he is of her and the girls. And just to keep it going, Fancy needs to chill, all the things that he's observed while he was even still on this earth, but keep it going, essentially. He's proud. And it's the moment that she needs. So Jalen does get to finish these renovations before this wedding as planned, like just in the nick of time. And we get some flowers from Richard saying that he cannot make it to the Christmas party for Fancy. So Mama E suggests, why doesn't Jalen accompany her to the party? Maybe they get to the party. Fancy is dressed. Jermaine is there. The boss is there. Now they're supposed to find out who gets this promotion there. Everybody's all dolled up, and come to find out, she been with Richard for 3 years, and these people ain't never. Now maybe her assistant did, but the rest of these people ain't have no idea what Richard looked like. They kept thinking that Jalen was Richard, but alas. So that's very telling. Fancy gets named the creative director, and she gets up to give this beautiful speech, only to turn around and resign because Jermaine with the G, his face was cracked on the floor. But when she said, I'm a head out and I'm gonna leave it in your capable hands, he was, he was real happy about it. Hold on one second, y'all. It is hugs and goodbyes for Fancy as she moves on to the next one. And back at home, she kind of thanks Jalen for just being there, being supportive, and encouraging her to do the things that she needs to do, and just also being not creative, supportive for the family, because he's done the same thing for Mama E. Now, maybe them two sisters, not so much, but as far as Fancy and Mama E is concerned, Jalen been right there in the thick of it. So now we get to Belle's rehearsal dinner, and Mama reveals her new work of art, and everybody's just so happy and so proud that she's gotten this passion and this joy back, because Mama's been kind of feeling down. Richard shows up in the 11th hour. She wasn't expecting him back to the wedding, and he proposes. You made me a better man, and I can walk and talk and do all the things. And Fancy's like, well, unfortunately, that's hasn't been my experience. I've done that for you, but what have you done for me lately? Okay. Fancy ends up turning him down because, she's like, he doesn't see her. So she goes upstairs. She's questioning if she made the right decision. Her sisters are like, well, what do you think? So now we get to the wedding day, baby. And Jermaine has bombed. I don't even remember seeing the dress. I just know Jermaine has bombed. But sis came through. You know how sisters do. So she had already constructed the wedding dress that she was going to do, right? And everything's fine. But she says she got to go off to get her man. So she goes over and talks to Jalen. And, she's just essentially telling him that she wants the life that they could have together. And she just, says, let's go. She kissed him because he's over, I think, at the working with the youths, right? They're like, Mr. Jalen, you got a girlfriend, mind your business. So he goes on over to the wedding just as he is. They say their I do's. It's beautiful. Everybody looks good. The women have on their burgundy or their maroon. We're taking pictures. We see Dad in the distance. And it's just a beautiful, happy ending. Did you guys check out Lifetime's Christmas Every Day? If you did, get down in the comments and let me know your thoughts on the movie. In my opinion, I enjoyed Best Christmas Ever, which was Brandy's Netflix movie, a little bit better. It's more of a family movie that I can rewatch. It was on my favorite Christmas movies last year that I can, rewatch a bunch of times with my son, and I have. This one, if you're looking for a little more romance, it's Lifetime Hallmark, Christmas love, this is definitely the choice for you. Would I watch it again? Absolutely. But get down in the comments, leave me your rating. What else have you seen this Christmas season? What are you looking forward to? And just do all the things, guys. I appreciate you guys ever so kindly, and I hope to see you in the next video. Peace out, y'all.